Christmas Day, an Islamic and historical background. Christmas, which is considered the day of the birth of Jesus Christ in the Christian world, is celebrated with great pomp all over the world. But a question often comes to the mind of Muslims. If Jesus is the true messenger of Allah, then why do Muslims not celebrate this day as a day of joy? This question requires a deep historical and religious understanding. The life and teachings of Jesus are important not only for Christians but also for Muslims. He is mentioned in many places in the Holy Quran, and the name of his mother, Hazrat Maryam, is specifically included in Surah Maryam. The birth and miracle of Jesus. Jesus was born 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem, a small town in Palestine. His birth was a miracle because he was born without a father. Allah blessed Maryam, peace be upon her, to be the mother of a pure son. The Quran says in this connection, when the angels said, "O Maryam, Allah gives you good tidings of a son by his command, whose name will be the Messiah, Jesus son of Maryam." Surah Al-Imran. The political climate at the time. At the time of Jesus' birth, Palestine was an important political and religious center. There were a large number of Jews here, but their power had ended, and Palestine was ruled by the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was one of the largest and strongest empires in the world at the time, with the heyday of the kingdom skyrocketing. The Roman emperor's name was Caesar. He was considered the most powerful king of his time. His greatness can be gauged from the fact that even today, 1 month of the year is named after this king, August. But power and authority make a man arrogant, and even Caesar Augustus could not escape this arrogance. History teaches us that whenever a king begins to think of himself as God in the intoxication of his power, Allah, according to his Sunnah, invites a prophet to guide him at such a time. Caesar Augustus made the same mistake in his pride that Pharaoh and other tyrannical rulers had made. He began to tell stories of his greatness and to force people to worship him. At that time, Allah sent Jesus to the land of Palestine to spread the message of truth and invite people to worship Allah. The childhood of Jesus. The childhood of Jesus was very different from that of ordinary children. His nature was full of purity and wisdom. It is said that one day Maryam was in the market with her son. Jesus had suddenly disappeared. Hazrat Maryam, peace be upon her, got worried and searched for him in the entire market. When they were not found, Mary found them among the Jewish scholars. Little Jesus was talking to these Jewish scholars, and the conversation was not like the words of an ordinary child. They were asking questions that they could not answer. The faces of the Jewish scholars were marked by anger and surprise as the questions of Jesus challenged their so-called wisdom. This event was one of the signs of Jesus' extraordinary intelligence and prophethood. Jesus spent the early years of his life in Palestine, which at the time was a disputed territory between Jews and Romans. He was also familiar with Jewish religious traditions, but his knowledge and insight were far ahead of his contemporaries. That was why he became a challenge for Jewish scholars from an early age. In the following story, we will learn how Jesus proclaimed his prophethood, what his miracles were, and why the Roman Empire and Jewish scholars opposed them. Allah granted Jesus many miracles, which were a clear proof of his prophethood. The most remarkable of his miracles was that he could cure incurable diseases by the command of Allah. They would heal the sick with the snap of a finger and restore sight to the blind. Even a deadly disease like leprosy was cured by their prayers. Seeing these miracles, the poor people would come to them and ask for help. Jesus helped everyone, no matter how poor or weak. Because of his kindness, compassion, and miracles, his popularity quickly spread across the length and breadth of Palestine. Jesus didn't just cure physical diseases, but they also tried to purify the hearts and minds of the people. He explained to his followers that Jewish scholars changed their religious laws for their own benefit. Jesus accused them of changing the verses of Allah's book for trivial worldly gains. These words entered the hearts of the common people, and they were influenced by the teachings of Jesus. But on the other hand, the Jewish scholars were deeply offended by his words. The religious business of these scholars, which was based on the exploitation of the masses, began to be affected by the truth of Jesus. Jesus openly challenged these hypocritical scholars, which caused a strong hatred against Jesus in their hearts. The hatred of the Jewish scholars against Jesus continued to grow until they began to plot to martyr him. But the task was not easy at that time, as Palestine was under the rule of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was the world's superpower at the time, and no such move was possible without their permission. The popularity of Jesus is increasing day by day. Given their power and popular love, the authorities of the Roman Empire also began to fear them. They feared that if Jesus united the people, it could pose a threat to the Roman Empire. Now, both the Jewish scholars and the Roman authorities began to consider Jesus as their enemy. Together, they devised a plot to get Jesus out of the way. Jesus had his last meal with his closest followers, who numbered 11 or 12. It was a historic occasion, remembered in the Christian world as the Last Supper. After this meal, Allah took Hazrat Sa'az under his protection and lifted him up to the sky. Christian and Islamic beliefs about Jesus Christ. There are differences between Christians and Muslims. Christian belief. Christians believe that Jesus was crucified. Islamic belief. According to the Holy Quran, Hazrat Asaf was not martyred, but Allah raised him to the sky, and someone else was crucified in his place. After the ascension of Jesus to heaven, 11 of his followers resolved to spread the teachings of Christianity to the world. Initially, he tried to convince Jews to convert to Christianity, but his words were strongly rejected by Jewish scholars. After that, the followers of Jesus went to other areas and spread the message of Christianity there. Amazingly, people in other regions accepted this message, and thus Christianity began to spread rapidly. St. Paul is one of the most prominent figures in Christianity. St. Paul is the figure who gave a new shape to the doctrines of Christianity and introduced Jesus as the Son of God and God himself, rather than simply seeing him as a prophet or servant of God. This concept, which was quite new at that time, gradually became popular all over the world. Interestingly, St. Paul never met Jesus. He came into contact with Jesus only through his followers. Nevertheless, he put forward a completely new view of Jesus, which completely changed the foundations of Christianity. Through the efforts of St. Paul and other followers, Christianity gained a foothold in the Roman Empire. But there was one major obstacle. The Roman Empire itself was hostile to Christianity. At that time, the Romans worshipped gods and goddesses, especially Jupiter, who was their main god. Christianity, which preached monotheism, became a threat to Roman beliefs, changing the image of Jesus Christ. Many changes were made to popularize Christianity in the Roman Empire. The color of Jesus. Jesus' color was yellow, as was the color of other people in the Middle East. But the Romans, who were white, tried to adapt the image of Jesus. He portrayed Jesus as a Roman man and depicted him with white complexion in his pictures. A change of name. The name of Jesus was changed to a Roman name so that the Roman people could better connect with him. When Christianity began to strengthen its roots in the Roman Empire, the Roman authorities saw it as a threat. The emperor went to extreme lengths to suppress Christianity. Christians were persecuted, their homes destroyed, and they began to be killed. This oppression of the Roman Empire is also mentioned in the Holy Quran, where the story of Sahab Kaf is described. Some youths took refuge in a cave to escape persecution. God caused them to sleep, and they slept for 300 years. This young man was called Sahaba Kaf because of his faith and belief in Allah. Despite the persecutions of the Roman Empire, Christians remained true to their faith. As a result of their sacrifices and perseverance, Christianity spread rapidly, not only in the Roman Empire, but also in other parts of the world. After a 300-year-long struggle, Christianity took a major turn. Emperor Constantine of the Roman Empire accepted Christianity and declared it the state religion. It was an extraordinary conversion, which contributed to the recognition of Christianity as a world religion. Due to the hard work and sacrifices of the followers of Jesus Christ, Christianity reached India after 300 years. Thus, Christianity strengthened its foundations in every corner of the world. When the Roman Emperor Constantine accepted Christianity, Christianity became the main religion of the Roman Empire from a minority religion. This was a major change not only in religious but also in political terms. But as soon as Christianity gained strength, the followers of the same Christianity started persecuting the believers of Jupiter and other gods and goddesses. Jupiter's followers, who were known for their Roman culture and worship of gods and goddesses, were not ready to give up their religion easily. Their resistance forced the Roman authorities to adopt strategies to further spread Christianity. This strategy involved adding elements of Roman culture to Christianity so that people with old beliefs could easily accept the new religion. In the Roman Empire, a festival called Saturnalia was celebrated every year in the month of December. This festival was dedicated to the worship of the Roman god Saturn. The festival included merrymaking, giving gifts, and especially decorating the pine tree in homes. Since most of the trees in Europe dried up in the month of December and only the pine tree remained green, it was considered sacred. The Roman Empire incorporated the rites of Saturnalia into Christianity to make it acceptable to Jupiter's followers. He linked the birth of Jesus to the festival of Saturnalia and announced that Jesus was born on December 25th, the exact time of Jesus' birth. It is interesting that according to the Holy Quran, Jesus was born in the summer season. It is narrated in the Holy Quran that Allah commanded Mary to shake the palm tree so that the fresh dates would fall down and she could eat them. The palm tree produces fruit only in summer, not in winter. This proves that Jesus was born in the summer, and the claim of December 25th is historically and religiously not correct. Initially, Christmas was a simple festival, but as time passed, more changes were made to it. This tradition was taken from Saturnalia, and today it has become the most important symbol of Christmas. The tradition of giving gifts also came from the festival of Saturnalia, where people gave gifts to make each other happy. Decorating houses with lights and lamps was also added to make the festival more beautiful. Christmas gradually gained popularity not only in Europe, but also in other parts of the world. This festival is not just a religious festival. It is also one of the world's largest cultural, social, and economic events. The story of Christmas is a unique chapter in the early history of Christianity and its fusion with Roman culture. This festival, which began as an expression of a religious faith, has today become the world's largest cultural festival. But to understand this story, we need to know the mix of history, religion, and politics. Our goal: this story is told from an Islamic point of view. If you are interested in more stories and information of this kind, stay connected with us. We will continue to bring you Islamic stories with the help of AI animation.